Welcome back to Mad Max. I spent the last episode trying to get a couple of ill-fated achievements, but now I have left that goal behind me, and I only have one remaining goal, and that is to see how the story ends. So the ending is somewhere in here. At least I'm assuming. I'm assuming we're really close to the ending. It could be that we're several missions away. I just took this opportunity to run around and try to get all the rest of the game finished. And I've practically 100% of the game. Not technically. There's a few challenges I haven't ever gotten, some of which might actually be impossible. Okay. Yeah, we are about to hit the final showdown. Okay, this is real. We're really about to end the game. It's been a long journey. And before we get started, I should think a little bit about how I feel about this game overall. Because you've watched me play, what is it? This is the 26th episode. You've watched me play about 25 hours of this game so far. But I've played at least twice that much, recording a bunch of it just sort of on my own and only sharing montages with you. This game has been a part of my life for quite some time. And I gotta say, I am really, really satisfied. I mean, I had my, frustrations. The last episode was like 100% frustrations. No game is perfect. And honestly, I've just been playing this game to death to such a degree that, of course I'm going to find the frustrating bits. Of course I'm going to rub up against the sort of some of the rougher edges of the game. And that's totally fine. But I've got to say, this game achieved some things that I didn't think were possible. Specifically, the convoy fights. Having a high-speed chase with, back and forth combat interactions, a lot of interesting sort of like relationships between their defenses, their attacks, my defenses, my attacks, all of this complicated drama playing out at high speed, barreling down a road with complete freedom to go whatever direction I want, and the NPC drivers, the AI, keeps up with me, and even, it just seems like an impossible thing to ask a development team to do, and they pulled it off. And that's nuts. That's crazy. That shouldn't be possible. So that by itself is worth the price of admission for this game. But then, the rest of it is really fun. They did a great job of just sort of thinking through what the experience of living in Mad Max's world is, and coming up with all of these really sort of iconic design decisions that make it really clear. The way that your shotgun works, for instance, you can't play this like a third-person shooter, because the whole point in Mad Max is like everything is incredibly precious. Working ammunition is incredibly precious, and this game makes you feel like, the shotgun blasts that you have access to are like the smart bombs in a shmup. They're like these very powerful things that you hold on to and don't use unless you absolutely need to. And it puts you in that mindset of a post-apocalyptic scavenger, and particularly the flavor of one that lives in Mad Max's world. It does a really, really good job of doing that. And that's what you're trying to do whenever you're trying to adapt a property like Mad Max into a video game. What you want to think about is, when an audience member leaves the movie, what are they thinking about? What are they imagining? What would it be like for me to live in that world? And like what's interesting about the lives of the people there? And what you want to make sure you give them is a game that is built out of incentives and choices and options and mechanics that make them feel like they are immersed in that situation. It makes them feel like, oh, I have to think the way the people in this world have to think. Whatever they have to do in their world in order to get by, that vibe that I'm picking up from those characters, that I'm picking up from the world, that's making me love to be immersed there, even if it's a horrible place. The fact that I love artistically to be immersed there, it's coming from something I'm getting from the characters and their lives and the world that they inhabit. And so you have to design the mechanics of the game to provide players with that same set of incentives so that they're making decisions that feel like the decisions that will be made by the characters in the game. And it's actually pretty easy to get the aesthetic of a game to match a movie. It's pretty easy to technically have some of the verbs match, but to get the mindset to match, that's the thing that's challenging. That's the thing that's the most challenging. And it's the thing that is very, very easy to get wrong. And I feel like the greatest sort of testament to this, to the successes of this game, the artistic successes of this game, is that I felt like this game was putting me in the mindset of a Mad Max character, both on this sort of meta level, the way I care about my resources, the way I'm like scrambling to collect things. I feel like I'm running out of stuff, and that is a big part of how I'm sort of motivated moment to moment, but also just that iconic vision of like what Mad Max is about. It's about driving down a highway surrounded by enemies, fighting across vehicles, big epic explosions, and just that constant forward momentum. That's what made Fury Road so successful, is that they took that sort of these sequences that were actually a fairly small part of the earlier Mad Max movies, big central parts of those movies, important, memorable parts, but time-wise, they were fairly small parts of those movies, and it made an entire movie out of that experience. And this game feels like it has made a game that is, that is defined in huge part by that experience. So anyway, before we get into, all of the sort of drama and the details of what plays out at the end here, I just wanted to talk through why this game works for me and why I'm, like even 10 years after it came out, I'm still here enjoying it. I'm still here impressed by it. It's because of what they accomplished there. All right, let's start this mission.
Where's Scrotus? Scrotus? I will tell you where to find him. Your fame walks on its own, and your shadow has grown. And my blood has fueled legend. Scrotus is settled on Roadslide of the Purgatory Flatlands. 2 weeks, he said. A spent shell. Bring his corpus gratis to the organic mechanic and let the blood serve. Now my blood returns for you, Scrotus. Now my blood returns.
Never been so sure of anything.
Paint my name in their blood.
Wait,
Paint my
whoa,
name.
whoa, no, what the heck? Okay, I wasn't ready. We'll try that again. They chose the exact right way to end this. Like I was saying, this.
There he is! Oh, he's big, Saint. Are you sure about this?
This is the iconic Mad Max experience. We have to end it someplace like this.
Sweet Angel! Fire Flasher!
Paint my name in their blood. Paint my name.
Do it. The only thing you know how. Kill him. Take his life like he took ours.
He's dented bad! Clincher him!
Do it. The only thing you know how. Kill him.
Tear that tire right off!
Okay, that was embarrassing.
Until death.
Let's not get squished by it. Oh wait, it says eliminate the escort.
Fuel tanks on the sides. A weak spot if ever there was one.
Pull off the side armor with the harpoon.
There, huh? There! The gasoline tanks! Victorious! I see red! Fuel tanks exposed!
Whoa, hold on. Alright, my health isn't great right now. Okay, he is exposed.
I can breathe life back into her lungs still. Yeah. Black fingers will heal her, say. Yeah.
Come on! What
Praise be! Her juices flow! Her valves are aglow with the cuttering pistons blow by blow! Yes!
Get off! Just one chance to get it. Now!
She will die! Oh, sweet!
Get off!
Never! I would rather breathe my last breath than watch her die! I am her protector! Her savior! No! Sage! Sage! Please! Please spare her!
They must all die. All die for what they've done.
Oh no, it's what I've been training for.
Mine interceptor.
Thunder! Bring the thunder!
Ah, here we are.
Take his life like he took ours.
It's not auto-targeting.
Sticks and stones! Break his bones!
It's making me nervous.
Kill him, for her sake, the angel!
Okay, these replenish. I'm gonna have to be afraid of losing him. Okay.
They must all die. All die for what they've done.
That's the car I'm going to unlock. Okay. We're done. Oh, check out this art. Wow. They did a good job. That was a good ending for this game. I mean, it was bleak, but that's the kind of game this is, right? Mad Max is now set up for Fury Road, right? He's got the car that he had at the beginning. He's got nobody in his life. He's haunted by memories of a woman and a child. I don't feel like, you know, if there's any part of the story that kind of falls down a little bit, it's the fact that he was so sort of like, he kept Hope and Glory at arm's length, like the whole time. Like he was kind of refusing to connect with them, and to have the character refuse and refuse and refuse to make any kind of connection with them and then be affected by their death, that's less powerful than if we had seen him actually connect with them and actually invest in that relationship. Because I mean, I think, you know, I see what they were trying to do. I think that they were trying to sort of imply that Mad Max actually was connecting with them, but actively because he suffered loss in the past, was trying to keep them at arm's length and failing. but that's not very clear in the text. You have to kind of read that subtext into it. And so from what I actually saw in the storytelling of the game, was him genuinely not investing in them, him, grudgingly helping them for his own benefit, and then being weirdly haunted by their deaths. Like, he's lost a lot of other people before, and it feels like he didn't actually make them very special for himself. He has this sort of, it felt like he had this internal sense of honor where, like, when he, makes a deal with someone or promises to do something, he's going to pay it off. And he doesn't like the idea of just sort of backing out of deals, betraying people, falling short of people's expectations. He likes to fulfill them. He's, kind of grudgingly dutiful. I think that he thinks he shouldn't be that way in order to live in this world, but he is that way. He can't stop, But that felt like it was more about him, and it was less about Hope and Glory themselves. It didn't seem like he was actually invested in them as people. It felt like he was invested in his own sense of self as someone who fulfills a bargain. And so in that scenario, losing them didn't feel like the kind of thing that would actually scar Max in a way where we would see him being haunted by it at the beginning of Fury Road. And needing to have the experience of Fury Road to sort of resolve some of those feelings. So that's one place where I feel like the storytelling doesn't quite come together. I would have preferred to see a scenario where, he encountered Hope and Glory earlier on, where the reason why he was going, and even if he kept them at arm's length at first, keeping them at arm's length in Act 1 would make sense. Investing in them in Act 2 and seeing him do selfless things for their benefit because he's invested in them in Act 2, and then losing them in Act 3, I think it would have left him in more in this state that I think makes sense for following on into Fury Road. As things stand, this is an okay story for this game, but I don't feel like it sort of lines up with the payoff it's trying to go for. But on a mechanical level, that was the right kind of ending. I was a little bit let down that Scrotus didn't get up and make me fight him one more time, just because you kind of expect, when a game is about a certain set of mechanics, you kind of expect that the boss battle will pay off on that set of mechanics. And the boss battle paid off on, convoy chases, and it paid off on man versus vehicle fights, which is kind of funny because I was doing those all the time pointlessly just because I felt like it, and I was very proud of myself for getting practiced at it, and that actually ended up paying off, and that felt really good. But the fact that I had finally gotten fairly good at the hand-to-hand combat, that didn't happen in this finale. Of course, it did happen in the previous sequence, when I had to fight the fighter that I had attached to my car, after that big old death race thing. That did end in a fight, and so they did pay off on that stuff near the end of the game. But just the final boss, I didn't actually have to fight Scrotus at the end. But that's okay. I mean, certainly the hand-to-hand combat of this game isn't the thing that they're hanging their hat on. It's an important part of it. I mean, it's the franchise is full of it. You need to depict it. But they basically sort of went with the Batman. And did a good job of implementing the Batman model. But it's the Batman model. The thing that was revolutionary and unique about this game was, as I was saying before, the convoy combat. And so if the boss battle had not involved convoy combat, I think it would have been the wrong boss battle. It was just me fisticuffs with Scrotus, and that was all it was. That would have been a disappointment. I kind of wanted to beat up Scrotus. I liked the idea of feeling like I was doing it. But at the same time, if they had to choose one or the other, and I think, and the thing is, they came up with that cinematic moment where he was basically finishing the job that he had started in the opening cutscene, sawing into his brain. That's fine. There are definitely worse ways to sort of pay off on the beginning of this game with the ending. So I'm not going to begrudge them that. I think they made, there was a part of me as a player that's I want to prove myself against Scrotus. I want to beat him up hand to hand using my skills. But they definitely chose the most important thing. If you're going to do one thing, they did the one thing that you're supposed to do. So I'll back them up on that. And yeah. I mean, it feels like we're getting towards the end of the credits here. They're starting to put contract boilerplate in front of us. This is the kind of stuff that would show up in small text in most credits that include it. What is this? What are these hash marks and quotes? Yeah, I think I think they wanted to do slightly better realized credits than that and weren't able to. Okay. We finished it. I've successfully completed the story of Mad Max. However, there's still plenty of things to do. Chumbucket, can't say his name. Chumbucket and the Magnum Opus, along with some other major characters, are back again. Feel free to continue exploring, tie up loose ends, and upgrade your car as you see fit. The Wasteland is your playground. So now I've got the Interceptor.
The Magnum Opus is tuned up and ready to go.
And a fancy shotgun?
So we take her next.
And a black leather jacket? Okay, hold on. Let's have a look. So Max now has a new jacket. Okay. That's cool. Now, and it's better. Oh, there we go. There was the hidden achievement that I was going after before. So yeah, this is a better jacket. And, you know, it's slimmer. That's one thing I was not getting into, was how complicated Max's outfit was. Like, I wanted it to be a little bit sleeker. And that is giving me that. And then his shotgun. It's reliable and reloads quicker than the other shotguns. Okay. Let's do it. And then I realize it might be a little bit anticlimactic, but one of these races, and I'm pretty sure it's this one, supports the Interceptor. And that is one last thing I've never done, is beat a race with the Interceptor.
Again you grace my stage, blazing bright, blissful, rumbling, shaken, and in another
So let's do
race
it.
partaking.
Yeah, before that crazy thing kills us all.
Okay, well, that's not how you start. Hold on. So sometimes when I'm aiming my shotgun, I'm hitting B, it just doesn't register, and I'm not sure why, and so I'll end up spending a long time aiming without getting a shot off, and that's kind of what happened there. And then I end up just getting way off course because I was spending too long trying to shoot that car. So I'm not sure what happens to cause that, but it happens to me fairly often. Oh wait, this is the one where I took off to the left before. That's right. So I might not get legendary on this because I already skipped one of my favorite advantages. So we'll see. Whoa, no. Oh, hello. All right. I kind of wonder how the boost actually works. Like, what is it actually doing? I think that it's raising my top speed temporarily and then reducing it by the same amount afterwards. Or maybe because I never feel like I get a lot of long-term acceleration from it, right? I don't feel like after I boost, I'm going, hello, significantly faster. It's like I went faster, and then I stopped going faster. Okay, let's see if the guys are here this time. Oh, wow. Right. I turned off the rollover assist. Okay, that's funny. It's funny realizing how much I was normally depending on the rollover assist. I turned it off because I had heard that it might actually hinder the amount of air that you get when I was going after the maximum air achievement. But yeah, so it is nice to realize that I do actually have a certain amount of like air touch on the car when it's on its like roof. I can right the car with the stick, which you can also do in State of Decay 2. I like that move, and I never knew it was there because for a while the game was preventing me from ever getting into that situation. It does feel like I'm going much faster than everybody else. So hopefully that means I'll get legendary. It's barely started ticking. There we go. I just want to get a nice shot of proper Mad Max here. It's not a great backdrop though. I've got all this. Yeah, let's get a good backdrop. I want to get the sun. Maybe not. There, something like that. Okay, no, I don't want grass in my face. Come here. Okay, there we go. There is iconic Mad Max. I think that's where we want to end this. Just looking at this guy. My favorite boy from when I was a kid and I watched Road Warrior for the first time. This is the image. This is what I've been going for. This is why I played this game, so I could be this dude. So, awesome. Great. We're done with Mad Max. I'm going to go play different games. I'm going to go try out Borderlands 4, which is slightly influenced by Mad Max, I think. You know, obviously it's got a lot of other stuff going on. You can see a little bit of the Mad Max flavor in there. You know, this imagery has been a part of our culture, you know, since... Wow, when did the first Mad Max come out? Was that early 80s? I think it was early 80s. So yeah, it's been like over 40 years that Mad Max has been like stuck in the back of our heads as a part of our culture, and it's informed so many other things. I'm actually kind of looking forward to playing some of the games that it's influenced now. So let's wrap this up. There's my subscribe button. Here's some links to other non-Mad Max videos, and I guess I'll see you there.